Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Rome 2! Total War Rome 2! I keep forgetting which way the words go round. The Julia campaign! Anyway, this is not a new session, it's a continuation of the last video. So, as I explained in the last video, serious pain in my left hand side after a football injury. Today is now Tuesday. That was yesterday. It's a little bit better, not as quite as painful, so should be able to finish this session today. So, yes, I've just looked over a couple of bits and bats and built a few more buildings, which is why we only have 582 denarii left. And we got some extra trade as well. Just a quick look at the trade screen, and we got some trade with the Cimmeria. So we're now trading with these guys. So, yeah, our trade partners ever increasing once again. It's lovely. We're getting a nice amount of trade income, which is always a nice boon. So then, to finish off this session today, the goal is pretty straightforward. We are happy with our expansion. We are happy with our client state's expansion. So all we need to do is take 2 armies from the north here, down to Roma, where we will rejig the armies, add them some siege equipment, and then send them off on their merry way down here to the land of Africa, where we shall engage in open warfare with the Massaesoli to try and take over the joint. So that is the goal. So today's session is going to be us walking down, and that's pretty much it. Now this session, or rather this, where we are right now, is slightly bit different to where we ended the last session, because I didn't save it after I'd finished the turn, so I had to end the turn a second time, and things slightly went different, only very slightly. Of course, Bassus still had his triumph, which means he obviously got the Vir Triumphalis +6 to local public order buff, which is absolutely fantastic. We promoted him to Quaestor last time, we did it, that's fine. Speaking of promotions, he can be promoted again to Aedilis. We'll give him this bonus when he gets back to Rome and into retirement, because he's 53. He's going to take about 5 or 6 turns to return to Rome, which is going to make him about 56, 57. He's too old to start a campaign in Africa. He's going to pass the baton down to somebody else, and he's going to retire as a statesman. He's no Scipio. He's not about the glory. He's had his glory days. He's had his fun. He's going to hand over and retire gracefully. So that's going to be him, and when he does reach Rome, we'll give him that promotion. He can become a politician. Everyone's favourite kind of person. So the one thing different from last time was the fact that the mediocre meddler, Modia Metella, actually died. And that prompted me to look at Postumia Scapula, because she's been around for a hell of a long time. And I found out that, well, she's 60. So she's going to have to go into retirement as well, because she's going to drop dead any time now. She's been a very good spy, some successes, some failures, nothing extremely notable, no assassinations. But, well, she had a good innings, if you will. So she's going to remain here, and for our campaign in Africa, we'll have to recruit a new spy. Because we already have one on the way, the one that we managed to switch to our side. Postuma Scapula's final act. If we can find him, here he is, Fulcher. He's pretty nifty, quite a high rank. His stats aren't too shabby, so he's going to be one of the spies that we send down into Africa with the armies. Postumia will not go with him. She's far too old, so we'll have to recruit another one. So there you go. That's a little bit about the background of what's going on. So all that's left for us to do is to march out, because I'm quite happy now with the public order situation up here in Suibir. 27 public order in the green, buildings on the way. I'm happy that we have got a grip of this province, and that the people are coming round to our way of thinking. Culture is swinging quite quickly towards Latin, and yeah, a bit of a crackdown, military crackdown is going on, cracking the whip on the local populace. which is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, so these guys are now going to go into forced march so we can return to Rome as quickly as possible. Now I'm going to try and keep them on the road as much as possible because I want to reduce the chance of attrition, but I don't think it's going to be avoidable.
Waiting for orders.
There's going to be some attrition somewhere along the lines. And of course, the Dagger of Rome is going to head down as well in a forced march style. Gonna go there. There we go. So we've taken 2 armies out of their respective settlements and the public order drops to +13 per turn. Still very healthy. When these 2 finally leave the province proper, then we'll get a proper look at how the public order is down there, but I'm sure we'll be fine. So, yes, they're off. Now, whether or not they can use the siege equipment due to the fact that they don't have the tradition is a different matter. Again, I forgot to research it, which is a bit of a killer. But if they can't, they can't. We'll have to have our fun with the artillery with a different legion at some point in the future. There's plenty of time left for that fun and games. Right. Just briefly, I move my army here, Legio Potestas, headed by Sornatius Flavus, from Milan to Patavium, just because of the fact that it was raised in my forums suggestions thread that, of course, if these people here decided to come walking round, we might be a little bit exposed. So I'm just going to take him here, closer to one of the weaker areas. Reason being is, to the north and to the northwest, we're surrounded by friendlies. We're friendly with the Arverni, we're friendly with our client state, we're friendly with Massalia, so the likelihood of being attacked from this side is very, very reduced. So any attacks into Italy are going to more than likely come from the north if people got ideas. So we'll take him closer to this side. So that's it. Army movements have been done, trade has been done. Nothing else for us to harp on about here, really. His gravitas has increased quite considerably, and House Julia is dominant in the Senate. Almost half is belonging to us. So we'll have to watch out for the old, what's it called? Civil War, yes, that's the one. Civil War type situation. Postumia, you can go into the army for your final swan song. Other than that... Oh. Has somebody leveled up as a result of that? No. Okay, that's fine. The end turns seem to be taking longer and longer as the game progresses. As we unlock more of the map, unlock more of the factions, it take just a touch longer. So we'll play it by ear, but if it gets any longer than this, then I might just skip the end turn parts on the camera, well, off camera of course, just cut them out of the video and give you a quick overview if anything notable happens. Massalia just seem to be sailing about a little bit. Don't know what they're doing, but I'm sure they're just screening the waters for any threat of piracy, which is good. Excuse me. I'm having my healing tea. Peace negotiated between 2 peoples. A client state has been established. That is why they are now happy as Larry, because they are now their overlords. Oh dear. Faction has been destroyed. Oh, Rhodos, no. Oh, who has taken you down? One of my most favourite places in the world, Rhodes. I love it. It's been overtaken by Athens. Well, at least it's a Greek faction. Not much change, really. Construction report. We have tons of construction, taking us up to 6,000 income per turn and a 65 food surplus. We are drowning in food. It's good. It's good, because when we get the upgrade that we are going to get in the short term, which will increase our building work. Is it this one? No, it's this one. No, it's not that one, it's this one. Yeah, when we can finally build level 3 buildings, that's going to take from our food reserves so we can do with as much surplus as possible. Unhappy populace. That is increased, actually. It's telling us that it's increased. It was outraged populace, now it's unhappy. Which is good, we're on the right direction. We're going up. Up, up, up is good, good, good. Right. Come on, forced march, quick sticks. We have another war to prepare for. Move yourselves. Dagger of Rome. Do-do-do-do. We're off and running. Do-do-do-do-do. Right. And Sanguini. Sanguini, come on, move it. Move it or lose it, sister.
Make haste, men.
Yeah.
Gathering
Aye, aye, aye. We're suffering attrition. Look at this. We've lost a few men. It does seem to be when you go off the road, though. You could micromanage it and just stay on the road with little fairy steps, but that would be far too depressing. Far too long in the tooth. And these guys are growing. You watch. Give them a full stock army in a few years' time, and I bet you they start attacking somewhere, like Ascau Callis maybe. I hope not, but you just never know, do you? We had a chance to put them down and we just let them live. This could be one of our fatal mistakes, but we'll soon see. Anyway, they've moved. We have 6,000 to spend. What are we going to spend it on? Good question. I don't know. I do not know. Well, I do know. We need to recruit another spy, but that is in the short term. So, let's take a look at the old provincial situation. We're waiting here patiently for a slot here. We could upgrade this farm to level. This would take some public order away with it. So we'll leave that for now and focus on the upgrading of our cities in terms of taking away from the public order. There, we are happy. We are very happy indeed. Righty-ho. We can't do anything that reduces public order here because of the fact that it's still quite precarious. We could take away from the food to get some more commerce and wealth. That's quite a good option. Or we could increase our food supply, but that takes away from the public order, so that's bad. Right, okay, so it's that one then. Trading port. Has to be. So that's one possibility. Trading port there. Here, we don't need that. So subpoena, we don't need any of these. No, we don't need to worry about these temples. Public order is quite good here for the time being. Here we don't. We could also increase this amphora kiln. That takes from public order though, so that's bad, so we can't do that. Corsica, we could increase the temple. Extra wealth. Plus 10%, it's nice. Or we could go for that one. That's a possibility. So, okay, just bearing that in mind. Temple of Neptune, apparently, it has been. I've been informed that it's wealth from maritime commerce in the area, in the province. Seeing as there's no ports here, this is a rather foolish temple to have. But it's also given public order now, so we can't demolish it. So we'll have to wait until we get a bit more public order increase in this province before we demolish this temple. And finally, Africa. We can increase this docks, so we take off the public order. But we are plus 18 at the moment, so we can do that as well. It's going to provide us with extra garrison, which is always nice, and extra ships, which is nice. So I think we'll prioritise this one first. 5 turns, takes away a little bit of public order, but we're fine with that. And what was this other one up here? Amphora kiln. No, trading port. Trading port's good. So extra upgrades to our ports, assisting with the income, which is always a nice bonus. Unit movements, everyone seems to be pretty much where they were. Just take a quick look at the diplomacy screen, see if anything is kicking off. Not really. As you can see, we have greens surrounding us. Greens to the north, greens to the west, greens to the east with the Deorsi, apart from these two here. But we're surrounded by good guys. So the likelihood of us being attacked is pretty small. So this could be a potential time of peace until we've managed to prepare ourselves for this particular assault. I'll be back.
My lord and his chamberlains see much advantage in a treaty. What do you say?
So here we are once again with the Massaisili wanting a non-aggression pact. I wonder if their spies have gotten wind of our plans and they're trying their best to well, if they were actually trying their best to appease us, they would actually give us some cash for this. They would offer us like 2,000 here, have some money and non-aggression. Please just don't attack us. But no, they're not. They're not offering money, which means I'm not interested in your little treaties.
People from a path of prosperity and send them towards misfortune.
Misfortune. The only misfortune who will be suffered around here will be you. You'll be suffering major misfortune soon. I quite assure you. They haven't done anything to me, and I almost feel bad. But we have to expand somewhere, and it just so happens that that's our next destination. Right, population surplus here, which is good because we do need some more buildings here to promote public order. So I'm going to go for another temple here to assist with that. That's nice. Right, unit movements.
At your command.
We're almost home, lads. Just keep on trucking. We're almost home. Well, he can move pretty far this turn. Wow. Go, Bassus. Whip those guys into a frenzy. Look at that. It's almost caught him up. I wonder if he's got a bonus to movement from any buffs from his champion. Could well be, you know, that he's got further army movements. Plus 12% campaign map movement range. Yeah, that's why he's catching up. Okay, in fact, how old is that man? He's been whipping this army into shape for some time. I mean, all of their experience, or most of their experience, has come from this guy shouting and screaming orders at them. He's been a boon to this army's experience. And he's 52, he's got a few years left. He might still be able to go into Africa with them, just to see out their final days. Okay. So that's good. Anyway, so they're on the march. We look here, +8 per turn public order now. So we've got it in the green. Definitely got it in the green. I'm very happy with how quickly this province was pacified. Combined effort of 3 armies and some perseverance won through in the end. Okay, so that's good. We have some cash to spend again, so we'll do the old dance. The old dance through the provinces situation. Look further, public order, no. Public order there, no, no, no. Migration, no. Cisalpina, no. Although we could increase this auxiliary barracks. That just takes away from the food supply, which isn't as bad. We're not recruiting from here though, so it's not as important. This is though, Amphora Kiln. Fishy fishy, on your little dishy dishy. Public order. Just a +1 increase to public order, but extra 5% wealth from sources. That's also handy. Okay, there is senior. Africa. Where did we build that second temple? There it is. Right, 2 more turns yet. Nobody to level up. What I'm going to do now, I haven't done this for quite a while, just before we end the turn. I'm just going to take a look at the old overview screen. So here we go, the overview of the campaign map at this current time. So we have obviously the Britannia tribes up here. There seems to be 2, well 3, but 3 tribes. 2 up here. The Caledones, the Iceni down here in the south, and some other tribe over in Ireland. The Reti, pretty strong. The Arverni are growing quite large. A war with this tribe would be pretty big for future. Anytime, you know, after we've conquered Africa, this could be our next port of call, or maybe up through Iberia. Of which the Aravaci seem to be the prominent force. We also have a couple here from the Galisi, and also the Turdetani creeping into Egypt. So as time progresses, these factions, the dominant factions, begin to win through, and they become larger and larger. None of the minor factions seem to be surviving too much now. It's interesting to see which factions have survived. We have the Deorsi to our east. There, 4 provinces, pretty big. Of course, the Anates have the German Confederation sandwiched between 2 enemies. This faction looks pretty large. Ardan seems to be around the area there. This seems to be one of the smaller ones, the Cimmeria. We've got Colchis, Pontus, pretty large. Seleucids, is this the Seleucids? Yeah. A couple of unknown factions down here. Don't know where Egypt's gone. They seem to have been demolished or battered down into a province or 2. Knossos, Athens is expanding to Asia Minor from its original starting point, and Macedon, they could well have most of this land. Sparta have a couple of settlements here, and Libya, of course, down to its last breath. And some rebels have a hold of this province. This is ripe for the picking. Maybe we should launch our attack from Africa from here. Start where the rebels are and work our way that way. It's worth considering. And the Marseilles have some land here too, so they really have expanded quite nicely. It's going to be fun and games, I tell you that much. So that is the current situation with the factions. We move across to the diplomatic screen. We can see our client states here, defensive allies here, defensive allies here. So we're surrounded by friends, as I've said before. Nice, these are all neutrals. Public order. Obviously it's high all around here. It's low here at the moment, but it is on the up. So I'm not too worried about that. That is the wealth, various wealths of the provinces. It means nothing to me, but some of the wealthier parts tend to be the capitals of the provinces. And of course the growth. We're in the green everywhere, which is also a nice bonus. So that's just a little overview screen there of the situation of the campaign map as it stands. Just who will we be locking horns with, eh? Now, one little tactic we could employ in the future, when we get even more powerful and people want to be our friends, is that also...
Glory, wealth, and a place in the histories. All of these will be ours when we are united as friends.
They are... they're only a very small faction. They're not at war. Right, they are friends with the Deorsi. They have a defensive alliance with them. They're friends with all of our friends. And they're good with us, so yeah, we'll happily accept. It's good to be friends. Although when you have too many friends, you're going to have to stab somebody in the back eventually, otherwise we can't expand. Which is why we're trying to bat off the Marseilles' advances with treaties, because we have to keep one faction at arm's length. Yeah, one tactic to employ in the future is, I think, military allies count towards your victory condition. So if you have another faction that's quite large, that have maybe 4 or 5 different lands, if you ally them with them militarily rather than defensively, their lands count towards your victory condition. So if we can get a couple of military alliances, some strong, firm military alliances with some factions, that will also boost us forward in terms of reaching our campaign goal. Definitely worth considering.